Okay, we're off and running. Our first vocabulary lesson for the year. Here we go. Now remember, with these lessons, you are taking notes, and for vocabulary, you're taking them in the vocabulary section of your notebook. If I'm going too fast, or if the video is going too fast, you're going to pause me. Get the information down in your notebook, and then play forward. If you miss something, you have two options. You can either rewind and watch it again, or you can get to the end and then go back to the beginning and watch the whole thing again. So either way, the important thing is that you get the information down in the vocabulary section of your notebook, and we will check that on Monday morning for points. Okay, so here we go. Lesson 1, our first lesson. Your first root word is bio, which is Greek, and it means life. You're probably most familiar with bio in the word biology, which probably a lot of you are in biology this year, right? So anyway, now 3 of the 4 words I think that you'll be familiar with. The fourth one maybe not so much. So let's get going here. Our first one is biodegradable. It's an adjective that describes something that has the characteristics so that it can be broken down by microorganisms within nature so that it is not harmful to nature. So you have a can of Coke. Your aluminum can is not biodegradable. You eat an apple. If you happen to drop the apple, or it goes in the core, you throw it away, it eventually goes into the landfill, it will be broken down by microorganisms so that it is kind of absorbed into nature, and it's not a harmful substance, so it's biodegradable. The second one is bionic. Adjective. It describes something that enhances normal powers or abilities, and it's something that is either electronic or mechanical. So if you think of somebody that's wounded in war and they've lost an arm or a leg, and they get a prosthesis, and that prosthesis has the ability to move, that's probably because it has some kind of mechanical or electronic parts to it, so it's bionic. When I was growing up, one of my very favorite shows to watch was The $6 Million Man, and he was an FBI agent who had been in this horrible, tragic accident where he had lost an eye and lost an ear and lost both, well, he didn't lose both legs, but he was hurt. And so the government comes in and they secretly put all these mechanics in him that make him better than he would be as a normal human. So he was called the Bionic Man. So, and a lot of your superheroes from this summer's blockbuster lineup have had mechanical parts, and they could be considered bionic, enhanced characters. Biopsy is our third word. It's a noun. It's actually the removal of tissue or fluid for testing. And unfortunately, we know this word because it's fairly common, because when people are suspected of having cancer, they will take cut out a bit of the tissue or take fluid and test that fluid to test if it's malignant or benign. So biopsy is our third word. The one I'm not so sure that you know about is symbiosis. Symbiosis is two life forms that live closely together, and they're totally different life forms, but they live closely together and they benefit each other. And this one's a noun as well. And I did a search online and looked up the best examples of symbiosis in nature, because I didn't think you'd really want to listen to my examples from my sci-fi movies, which there are many examples. But anyway, in nature, we will look at nature. We have this little bird here with his gorgeous red beak and his gorgeous red eyes. And he is an oxpecker. And he lives on the backs of animals in Africa. The rhinoceros, the hippopotamus, the giraffe. And People just thought he was a pretty bird that would eat the bugs off the back of the animal. But in reality, he's a vampire bird, and he lives off the blood from the ticks and the wounds that they make. He actually gets into the animal's skin and will eat that bug out of there. So it benefits the animal, but it also feeds him because he's a vampire. Then if we scroll down, this first one's a sea anemone and the hermit crab. And it talks about how the hermit crab will shuffle over and allow the sea anemone to attach to his back. And then he goes scuttling off to do his stuff. And the little sea anemone is wiggling its little arms, and it scares away anything that would eat the crab. But then the crab will get his lunch, eat his lunch, and leave the leftovers, and then the sea anemone gets the leftovers. So they have a symbiotic relationship. So our root word this week is bio, Greek word meaning life. Our words are biodegradable, an adjective, bionic, an adjective, biopsy, a noun, and symbiosis, a noun. So now you're going to complete the form that is below this video in Canvas, submit it, and that will be points for doing the lesson. Then I will check your notes on Monday. That will be the other points for doing your lesson, and then we will continue on with some activities on these 4 words. Okay, see you next time.